Okay, hi guys, and welcome back. So today, I am discussing the beautiful and amazing Rachel Amber, which I had said in my last video I would do. So, Rachel Amber, wow, where to start with her? So, if you, for those of you who don't know the game and are watching this video, Rachel is in the original game, but she's not in the game as a character. She is a person she is a person known as a missing person on the poster. We don't actually get to meet Rachel. We don't actually get to see her character, see her personality. We don't get to see any of that. We don't get to see any of that. We only see we only see pictures of her, and we only know about her based on what Chloe says about her, but she talks about her. We don't actually get to see her. But then, they made a prequel. In the prequel, we do meet Rachel's character. We do get to see her. We do get to know her character. We do get to know her as a person, and we do get to see her and Chloe together, which I think is really cute, how they did that. Everyone's been dying to see Rachel and Chloe together, who they were, what their friendship was, who they were. So, the fact to make a prequel like that, great job. And then, and Deck Nine did an amazing job because, it was a different company that made the prequel, and they did an amazing job. But Rachel Amber, wow, where to start? So I know a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on Rachel. A lot of people don't like her. A lot of people do. I feel like a lot of people don't like her because they feel like she is manipulating Chloe in a sense. And now, I get why people say that. She does have a very manipulating personality, but I don't feel... Excuse me, hold on a second. Sorry guys. Okay, I don't feel like she's manipulating. Like, it's hard to explain because it's like, yes, she is a manipulator. She has very manipulative personality. She knows how to manipulate people and get people to do what she wants. And she's used to getting what she wants because she comes from money. And when the child comes from money, they usually get everything they want. So, But I feel like when it comes to Chloe's the one person. And, maybe it did start out as manipulating Chloe. Maybe she did start out with her trying to manipulate her. But throughout the game, I feel like Chloe and Rachel developed a deep bond. And I'm talking about their relationship. I'm not even know why because it's in their relationship video. I'm supposed to be talking about Rachel herself. So I'm going to talk about Rachel. So there are some scenes I do want to show you guys from Rachel. And then we're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about her. And we'll just see where it goes. So I'll show you some scenes and then we're going to talk about them.
This is fun. Who's next? Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to hog the viewfinder. Jackpot! Commence makeout session in 3, 2, 1. Nailed it. Damn, they are really going at it. Wait, you're a prostitute? But I'm a prostitute. Now who gets paid? Rachel? Hey, are you all right? What are we doing? Excuse me?
Last I checked, you're supposed to be Chloe Price. Yet we've been ditching now for hours, and we haven't even gotten wasted yet. That's got to be against some school ditching rule.
Hell yeah. The honor student wants to show the school delinquent how to party? Be my guest.
How gracious of you. Can I borrow your lighter? Thank you. Come on.
Okay. 2 seconds. Sorry, guys. Anyway. Hi. Alright. So, let's talk about those 2 scenes that we just saw. So, the first scene we saw, Rachel and Chloe, they were playing, a little viewfinder game, just having fun in the park. And Rachel saw, that couple making out. And she got mad. And then we see the other scene where she's putting a picture of her and her dad tipping over and starting a forest fire. Let's talk about those 2 scenes. So obviously we know that later on that the guy that Rachel saw kissing that woman is her father, kissing another woman. And obviously she gets upset because she's super close with her dad. So to find out that her dad was cheating on her mom, she got really mad. Because I guess she also has a good relationship with her mom. She has a good relationship with her parents in general. She's, so I get it. And then they get forest fire. She was upset and she lashed out. Now let me tell you why. Even though I love Rachel, I love her so much. Let me tell you why I think forest fire and all that was a little, over the top or excessive or whatever. Rachel and Chloe. Rachel, she was upset. And, when you find out that your parent is cheating on your other parent, you're upset. It's a natural thing. But you don't start singing forest fire over it. I get it, she was mad. And yeah, burning the picture, fine. It's fine. It was no big deal. No, she could burn a picture, whatever. But to then use what she has burned to start a forest fire, which, might add, is also illegal. That was very wrong, and she shouldn't have done it. I mean, I don't think she meant to. I mean, she even said it later on that she didn't mean to. She was just upset. So I don't think she meant to. But if you use common sense, you know, if you tip that trash can over into that tree, it's gonna engulf in flames, and it's gonna go on fire, and then that tree will put everything else on fire, and then a forest fire will begin. Like, it's common sense. Everyone knows that. So the fact that she even tipped the trash can, but said she didn't mean to start a forest fire, it was kind of, I don't know, a little out of the woods for me. But Rachel in general, I love her character. I love who she is. I feel really, really bad for her. That the entire game, you know, we get to learn more about her family. We get to learn more about the dark secrets her family carries. And, you know, there's a lot of pain, a lot of anger in her, and there's a lot of pain and anger in the game and in her family. And it's just, and then she meets Chloe. And then Chloe, and I think what even attracted Rachel to Chloe in the first place was, you know, Rachel, you know, she's known to be this amazing popular girl, good, great grades, you know, liked by everyone, you know, comes from money, has a DA for a dad, so, you know, everyone thinks that Rachel Amber can do no wrong. Like, she is, like, the goddess of her school and of the world, you could say. But then, she probably, you know, has all these pressures to be, like, this certain type of person, you know, be this perfect person, you know, good grades, liked by everyone, you know, just this, like, perfect person. And, you know, when you have that much pressure on you, and when you're as young as they are, I mean, they're 15, 16, and in this case, Rachel's 15, when you're that young and you have that much pressure on you, that can become overwhelming and very hard, because it's like you have this pressure that you make a single mistake, you mess everything up, and it kind of messes with your head. And I think Rachel was probably tired of living up to the perfect expectation everybody expects out of her, and just wants to let loose, you know. And I totally understand that. I mean, personally, growing up, my pretty much a whole life I had pressures on me, but not to the extent of Rachel. And I feel like what brought Rachel to Chloe was that, you know, she had all this pressure to be this perfect person. Then there's Chloe, who doesn't have any pressure to be perfect, who is a delinquent, who doesn't care about school, doesn't care about life, just, you know, does whatever. And, you know, she could be whatever she wants, and no one even cares. And Rachel probably wants that too. She probably wants a life where she could just kind of rebel and just be whatever, and not have to worry about being this perfect person that, you know, everyone expects out of her, and just, you know, just be whatever she wants to be. And so I think that's what draws Rachel to Chloe, in a sense of, if she hangs out with Chloe, maybe she can finally do that. Maybe she can finally just be whatever and do whatever and whatever, you know. She's a, you know, and you know, and it makes sense. And even Chloe knows that that's probably what attracted Rachel to Chloe, because there have been so many comments that Chloe has made in episode 3 about how, you know, before, you know, Chloe and her started hanging out, she was an overachiever, and how Chloe's so glad that she nipped that in the bud. Like, you know, even Chloe knows. So I think that's what drew Rachel to Chloe in the first place. I feel there are a couple other videos I do want to show you of Rachel and of her family and I want to talk about them and talk about like specific scenes. And now I'm gonna talk about this one specific scene that I feel like it's really important. So I'm gonna do that.
Calling me a hypocrite?
Ha!
Rachel!
I can't sit here and listen to this bullshit anymore.
Rachel!
Stop it, Dad. You're a hypocrite. Okay? I know. You lying, cheating piece of shit, motherfucker.
Excuse me?
We saw you yesterday at the Overlook
James?
kissing that woman.
James.
Rachel? Honey, whatever you saw or think you saw, I know it's hard, but I need you to trust me.
Think we saw? Are you trying to gaslight us? There's no thinking involved. We saw you locking lips with some other woman. Best part is, she and I use the same drug dealer.
That's enough! You are not welcome here or around my daughter any longer. I know exactly what kind of person you are from the moment I saw you, and I let my wife's compassion get the better of me.
Oh? What kind of person is
A
that?
delinquent. A broken girl from a broken home.
That's enough, James. I will not have you continue to speak to her like this.
Why can't you just tell me the fucking truth? Stop lying. Stop being a politician for 1 fucking minute. Can't you just be my dad?
Rachel, that woman you saw, that wasn't my mistress. That was your mother.
So, my new friend, who everyone thinks is perfect, did something batshit fucking nutso last night. What do I do?
This perfect friend of yours, who I'm assuming is also an exceptional beauty, sounds like she may have been inspired by someone new in her life. Someone who is also, may I add, a knockout in the looks department. Perhaps this friend of yours, who, I reiterate, must be just stunning, needed someone in her life to teach her
How to steal wine from yuppie picnickers?
how not to give a fuck. Because she was tired of having to give so many fucks all the time.
That makes sense. How are you feeling?
Like I got stabbed. Doc says there'll be a sick scar. Maybe a tattoo is in order.
Fuck yeah.
We never actually escaped, did we?
We've got time.
All the time in the world. So, how did everything go?
Rachel, I've got to tell you something.
And I'm back. So, the scenes we just watched. I want to talk about them, and the last one is a really important scene that I also really want to talk about. So, the first scene that we watched was the dinner scene. Now, obviously, you can see Rachel, while she's having dinner with her parents, is hurting. You know, her father is saying all this stuff. And he's kind of being a hypocrite, because it's like saying all this stuff, but, you know, what was he really doing behind everyone's back? So, oh, sorry. So, you know, it's kind of messed up. And then, you know, Rachel, you know, she has this pressure where she probably has to sit down and be this perfect daughter, you know, and just, you know, keep her mouth shut, you know, and that's hard. It's on a kid, especially as young as Rachel. I mean, she's a kid, but, you know, she's not a grown-up either. Like, you know, she's young, and, you know, to have that pressure. And, you know, even in the second scene that I showed you, Rachel even admitted about all this pressure, because she basically told Chloe, like, you know, she needed someone to teach her how, like, you know, not to give a care in a role and just do whatever and be okay with it. And, you know, Chloe is the perfect person to teach her that, because Chloe does that 24/7 their entire life, you know. So, and, you know, it's also it's because Chloe's going through some really hard stuff too. It is, the whole game isn't one-sided. You know, Rachel's going through some really tough stuff. Rachel's going through some really tough stuff in the game, but so is Chloe. You know, Chloe has her own problems, you know, she has to deal with. And, you know, that's why the girls need each other. They both have these problems, and they both bring out the best in each other, I guess you could say. Well, no, not say the best, but, the good in each other, the happiness in each other. They make each other happy, you know? And, you know, to have a friend like that, to have a friend that make you smile when you laugh, and even when you're going through some really hard stuff, to just have a person that you just rely on to talk to about it and just be okay with it is everything for a teenager. You know, I know. You know, I have some really close friends that I would talk to about anything when I have problems or whatever. And, you know, I know I can, and it makes me feel so much better knowing that I have that. You know, so for anyone, but even especially a teenager, to have that, it's everything. And now I want to talk about the last scene I showed you. So obviously we know later on that Rachel's father wasn't having an affair, and that woman he kissed was Rachel's biological mom. So basically, her dad and her mom have been lying to her throughout her entire life. And, you know, it's kind of like Rachel doesn't know who to trust anymore. Because it's like, when you've been lied to your entire life and you find out about it, you know, it changes everything. And it's hard to, trust in that person again. And the one person Rachel trusts most in this world is Chloe. You know, Chloe's her best friend. Chloe's there for her. And, you know, she trusts her more than anyone. So she expects that, you know, Chloe's going to tell her the truth no matter what. Because she's the only one Chloe can trust to tell her the truth. Even if it hurts. Because everyone else has been lying to her. And, you know, throughout the entire game, you know, it's all about everyone lying to Rachel and you not doing that. And when you find out everything that James did, you know, hiring Damon to kidnap and drug Sarah, he could have kidnapped, and not to hire Damon to kidnap Sarah and not kill her, but like drug her up, make her relapse or whatever. You know, when you find all that out, and then find out everything else James like hid from her, the letters, this everything. You know, when you find all that out and then you have the choice to tell Rachel the truth or not. I always feel like the right choice is to tell her the truth. Why? Because of one thing Chloe said, you don't lie to people who you love, which you don't. And another thing, when it comes to the whole game, the moral of the game is, you know, everyone's lying to Rachel, and she trusts you more than anything else. And she trusts you as Chloe to not lie to her. Yeah, it's gonna hurt if she knows. Yeah, it's gonna ruin the relationship she has with both her parents. Yes, it's going to destroy her entire family. But at the end of the day, Rachel's not a baby. You know, she's 15. So she's old enough to handle the truth, one. And two, if she knows the truth, it's better because then she can be hurt by it then, but then she can just learn to cope with it. Yeah, it's gonna hurt, but she'll be fine because she can now cope with with knowing who her dad really is, and just, you know, cope with the whole situation. You know, if it were me, I would want to know. Yeah, it will hurt. It will hurt when I first find out, but at the end of the day, I'll be able to cope with it and live with it. I'll be able to live knowing the only person I trust most in this world didn't lie to me. You know, because if you don't tell Rachel the truth in that specific scene, you're basically kind of doing what her dad and her mom has been doing to Rachel her entire life, which is lying to her. So, because Rose is not entirely innocent in this either. She's been lying to Rachel too, because she obviously knows about everything, you know, that she isn't her mother, whatever. And she should have put her foot down and been, when Rachel was old enough, should have told James, okay, you need to tell her I'm not her mother. But no, she kept it a secret throughout her entire life. So she's kind of been lying to Chloe too her entire life. She didn't go as far as James went or did anything as bad as James did, which is why her mother is necessarily a bad person in this game. But she isn't entirely innocent in this whole scenario either. And I feel like lying to Rachel is really wrong, and it shouldn't be done. And another thing, if you lie to Rachel, you're putting that guilt on Chloe, because yeah, Rachel will be happy with her family or whatever, not knowing the truth, but then you'll have Chloe, and Chloe will have to live her entire life feeling guilty, knowing, and every time she hangs out with Rachel, knowing that she's bargaining this huge secret from Rachel, and having that guilt someone having that guilt, it can become very overwhelming and very hard, and make the truth come out in a not pretty way. And regardless, the truth is gonna come out regardless. So get it over with now, so you don't have to worry about it coming out later. But I love Rachel. I do. I love her character. I love her. She is kind of a spitfire for a person, but in a good way. And I feel it's good. But yeah, the entire moral of the game is, you know, to not, and throughout the game, the truth and lying is a big factor. And the truth is always the better option, no matter what. It'd be one thing if Rachel was a kid. She was like 7 or 8, where she wasn't old enough to be mature enough to handle the truth or the feelings or anything. Sure, I get that. Then, of course, protect her from the truth. She's a kid, she can't handle it. But she isn't. She's 15. She's old enough and mature enough to handle it. you know, especially since both girls act a lot older than they actually are. In some senses, in other senses, they act their age too. But I just feel like telling her the truth is the most important thing. And some of you don't agree because some people feel like, telling her the truth, it's kind of being selfish, whatever. But I don't personally think that it's being selfish. I personally think it's being brave and it's doing the right thing and helping Rachel be able to move on from this whole situation, move on with her life and not have to worry about it anymore. And that way Chloe can have a clear conscience and they can be best friends forever. And Chloe doesn't have to worry about telling Rachel the truth or anything. They can live their friendship with clean slates, And I feel like both girls deserve clean slates in the end. So that's my personal opinion on that scene. A lot of people feel like Rachel is manipulating Chloe in certain senses. I don't think she is. I just think she's a person that knows how to get what she wants, and she does definitely manipulate other people, like Victoria in that one scene, but when it comes to Chloe, I don't think she's manipulating her. I don't think she ever tried to manipulate Chloe. And a lot of people think, in the hospital scene where Rachel asks Chloe to go and find her mom. A lot of people feel like, she's putting Chloe in danger and she's manipulating Chloe into doing that for her. And I don't feel that way because I don't feel that way. Trying to remember what I said. They think she's manipulating, but I don't feel that way because Rachel didn't know what asking Chloe to find her mom would entail. She didn't know what her father was doing. She didn't know any of it. She thought that it would be a simple job, going to her dad's office, find a number, call her, and then talk to her and see if she'll meet Rachel. She didn't know that what finding her mom meant was dealing with a dangerous drug dealer that could possibly kill her on the spot, and she didn't know what type of danger Chloe's putting herself to because she didn't know about anything. Like I said, her dad's been lying to her. She doesn't know anything. So she didn't know that she was putting Chloe in danger by asking her to do that. And because she didn't know, she could have been manipulating her into putting herself in danger, so she wouldn't have to. Not that she could anyway, because she already did. So, I feel like I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I feel like she was manipulating her in that scene. I don't feel like she was manipulating her throughout the entire game. I don't. A lot of people do, but my opinion is that I don't see it that way. I don't feel that way. There were so many people that Rachel manipulated in this game, but I just don't see Chloe being one of them. All I see is a really hurt girl dealing with a lot and just wanting a friend that can help show her how not to care and how just to live freely. But more really just looking for a friend, a really close friend that she could be with, that, And another thing, Rachel doesn't need Chloe to run away. She could just do it on her own. The fact that she wants Chloe to come with her shows me that bring her. A lot of people think that that Rachel's just using Chloe because she wants someone to run away with, and I don't think that's the case. Because like I said, she doesn't have to go with Chloe to fact that the one she wants to is because Chloe is such an important person in her life, but she trusts the most in the world, and she loves Chloe. And people also feel like because she was, you know, sleeping with Frank, and you know, which we find out in the original game, she was sleeping with Frank, and I don't feel I don't feel like, firstly, I don't think, I do feel like Chloe and Rachel were together. That's a definite. You know, the way Chloe talks about her and stuff, I do feel like they were together. Even if maybe they broke up or they were together for a little while and then Rachel ended it or whatever. For some time in the future, their relationship was something more. We don't know how long it lasted. Don't know when it happened. But there's no doubt that at some point their relationship was something more than just a friendship. You know. And you know, I don't think they were ending official, which is why I don't think Rachel could have cheated on Chloe with Frank when she was sleeping with him, and we know that Rachel feels super guilty for doing it, and you know, wants Chloe to know, because we know from this letter, hold up, that, you know, she writes to Chloe, you know, even in the contents of the letter, you know, see, you can tell me how much I want you to read this letter since I've been dragging my ass to give it to you. Maybe I just want you to find it when I'm not around so we never have to talk about it. I don't want you to hate me. Where to start? I met someone recently who's so different from the Vortex Club snobs. I know you'll have a meltdown when I tell you and think he's gross, but I swear he's wise and unconventional. Kind of scary, not in a bad boy way. He just experienced some serious shit. Yes, I'm kind of obsessed, sick. I won't blame you for freaking. Maybe I know you're right, and this has to just be my secret. I hate not sharing this with you, except I know you would give me that stink eye and grill me for every stupid detail. I even told you that last night we hooked up near campus. So even like in the contents of that letter, you can tell how much Rachel cared about Chloe, how much she cared about hurting her, and she didn't want to hurt her, hence the letter. You know, there's so many stereotypical things put on Rachel. She really isn't a bad person. She's just a person. She's just a girl, spent through a lot from a young age, and has a hard time coping with it. And because she has such a hard time coping with it, it led to her death. And people say that, like, you know, she was sleeping with Jefferson. I don't think she was sleeping with Jefferson at all. I don't think the relationship was anything sexual. I think Rachel maybe could have flirted with him or whatever, just why people think that. And, you know, but I think Jefferson got her down there the same way Jefferson got all those girls down there. Since she hangs out with Nathan drugged her and took her down there. And if people need to remember, Jefferson didn't kill Rachel. Nathan did. Like, people forget that. People think Jefferson killed Rachel. People always say that. But what people are forgetting is that it was found out later on Jefferson did not kill Rachel. Nathan did. And then Jefferson helped Nathan bury her. But it wasn't Jefferson was not responsible for Rachel's death. Nathan was. And I'm not even going to get into Nathan. I'll talk about him later. But, so I feel like people need to remember that. I probably being a little biased because of how much I love her character, but it's not even about me loving her character. Like, based on what I've seen and what I've heard and just everything, like, you know, it goes to show that Rachel Weisz is not a person. She's a person who's been through a lot, and she needs Chloe, and Chloe needs her. They need each other, which is why they get along so well. You know, to find that one person that you just need. You know, they're each other's soulmates, and soulmates doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic thing. Not soulmates aren't necessarily a romantic thing. And there's a video that I'm gonna show you that shows what a soulmate really is, which isn't necessarily a love of your life, you know. So hold up.
What's a soulmate?
It's like a best friend, but more. It's the one person in the world who knows you better than anyone else. It's someone who makes you a better person. Actually, they don't make you a better person, you do that yourself. Because they inspire you. A soulmate is someone who you carry with you forever. It's the one person who knew you and accepted you and believed in you before anyone else did, or when no one else would. And no matter what happens, you'll always love it. Nothing can ever change that.
Okay, sorry. So that is a better understanding of what a soulmate is, and they are each other's soulmates. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean a romantic thing, but they are, and that's what I love about the relationship. Does it be romantic? Does not need to be romantic. It's just they're there for each other. I'm going to go more depth of the relationship in the video to make of their relationship, but this is just of Rachel. So anyway, I think I'm gonna end the video here though. On that note, let me know what you guys think of Rachel. Like, comment, subscribe below, please. Let me know what you think. I really want to hear your opinions. This is my personal opinion, Rachel. You don't have to agree with me, you don't have to disagree with me. I wanted to let you guys know what I thought of Rachel Amber and why I like her. The next video I'll be doing, it will be on, I forgot who's gonna be on. I forgot who's gonna be on, but you'll find out. So until then, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys soon. So, bye.